The NAPLAN results. Natalie Doomer, what is going on? We're spending more money than ever in Australia on our education system. The ABC News, in a rare bout of honesty, have covered this correctly and said our NAPLAN results reveal that 1 in 3 students are not meeting basic literacy and numeracy expectations. What is going on here? Because I was looking at this graph and it is shocking.
It is scary. It is absolutely frightening. So we're spending more and more money, and now they're asking for more money again to do what? We are dumbing down our children. And when you look at the NAPLAN, it was brought out in the early 2000s. When you look at 2016 and 2017, the national minimum standards was 90%, not 66. How did that happen? I mean, are we teaching our children diversity, equity and inclusions? Are we concentrating on the 72 pronouns and ignoring mathematics and English? I mean, the basic knowledge is so important to have functioning human beings in our society, and yet we've got this coming about with the amount of money that we are spending in the education system. Now, is it because we've got the Department of Education with predominantly Marxist views? I actually don't know what they are teaching our children.
I think this would have something, at least some part, to do with the fact that learning from home is probably about as effective as working from home. And if you're a small business owner, you know what I'm talking about. You know, all these businesses that sort of, you can work from home and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of, you cannot produce great results as a business having everybody just working from their... And the main reason for that is you need collaboration. You need to foster learning by osmosis. You know, like in our business, we train people by just letting them observe others, in their natural habitat. It's like, it's the same thing for learning from home.
It's like doing a conversation here in person versus a Zoom.
That's right.
You miss the magic,
I think you're heading towards the COVID and the fact that
learn from home. Correct. Yeah.
But
sure. I think that certainly hurt it, but I think it was declining before that. So I'm not saying it's exclusive to that as an issue, but that certainly didn't help. I think that set back a lot of students.
But funnily enough, did you say that? I think it was a school in Auburn that had the best results. And yet they were the most like that. Those LGAs were the ones that were the most locked down, the most, the southwestern LGAs. And yet a school in Auburn has got the best NAPLAN results or the most improved NAPLAN results. And what they've been doing, and I think this is absolutely pivotal, is they've been inviting parents to help reading with the children, which is what we used to do back 20, 30 years ago anyway.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
And that's where we have to go back to. We have to go back to parents coming in or some sort of teaching staff coming in and helping the students one-on-one and actually reading, giving them that love for a book, not sticking their faces into a computer screen. And the same thing with things like mathematics. NAPLAN went onto the digital form. I don't know if it still is digital or whether they're actually writing, but there is a direct connection between your hand and your brain. If you're writing, you actually remember so much more. So why are we going onto this computer system when these kids need to know how to work out a simple problem? And the result of all this poor education is you will go to a shop, and if you're paying for anything for cash, and I'm sure you guys have been through this, if something costs $8.25, you give them $10.25. They don't know how much change to give you. These young kids in shops have no idea how to calculate basic maths. Yeah. It's a real problem.
And I remember, I've had similar situations. Go to the pub and you want to get a pepperoni pizza and there's not an actual listing for a pepperoni pizza on the menu. You say to the young person working there, I have a pepperoni pizza, thanks. And they go, oh, sorry, there's no pepperoni pizza on the menu. Can I have a margarita with pepperoni? Oh, yep, I can do that on the computer screen. Or you go to a chicken shop and you say, I'd like 6 chicken strips, please. Oh, sorry, we only have 1, 3 and 5. Okay, well, you can press 1 and 5 or you can press 3 twice. You get 6.
It's a real issue.
It's actually we laugh at it, but it's actually incredibly concerning. You have a lot of employers saying, we're getting kids come out here who don't even know how to wipe down tables. They don't know how to sweep a floor. They don't know how to do anything. But they know about all this useless agenda with Marxist sort of related stuff that doesn't help them in the real world. They don't even know how to balance basic money, balance their bank account. It's a disaster, but it shows how much of a failure our education system has been. because no longer do they take children and teach them how to think. They teach them what to think. And they teach them the wrong thing. All they do is take them, memorise and obey, and all truth comes from authority.
And
that's what they
no critical thinking.
No critical thinking.
They have literally lost the whole process of critical thinking. Where has that gone? I know in my profession, just in my profession, when you go to, a surgery where there's several dentists, if it's not in a book, it doesn't exist. Like, I'm sorry, a person cannot be pigeonholed within a box. You need to be able to actually say, okay, what is going on with you? And perhaps it's different to the person next to you. It could be different to, we're all different people, where there's males, there's females, there's, different races. How do you pigeonhole everybody into what it says in a book?
Oh, exactly.
It makes me homicidal, because when I see what they're doing with education, they're spending more than ever. There's a lost opportunity cost. There's a lost opportunity cost. If you're teaching kids about the why your country's bad, LGBT stuff in the school, they're not learning about Victoria Cross winners, the sort of thing that, Richard Kalila. It's like name me one Victoria Cross winner in Australia. I challenge you, anyone that's listening. And if the answer is no, that's a problem, especially the young people listening. And it's not your fault. But the people that have a vote, we need to take back the education industry.
And that's the positive. So you're thinking about the positivity. We should be teaching kids what they can achieve, not that they're really bad because they're white.
Yeah.
Or, all this critical race theory. And we really have to get back to positive reinforcement in the education system rather than this negativity that they're all exposed
I think also with teachers as well, they're so overburdened now with nonsense, bureaucratic crap they've got to do, filling in all these reports, all these forms, and spending hours doing all these lesson plans and reports on where a child is up to in their teaching. So if another teacher takes over, they know where it's at. Basically, teachers don't even have time to teach anymore. They're bogged down with all of that information. They're giving class numbers that are too high, too many students to worry about, no assistance from a teacher's aide or anything like that. And that is why we're seeing education decline. They have all these smart boards now that have got computer screens in them and everything. And all these kids have computers and stuff like that, yet we have the worst results in history. And I think that that's very, very concerning.
I agree with a lot of that. I would probably shift the focus away from what's going on in the school so much, although I do think the curriculum is overcrowded for sure, and there's a lot of woke garbage in it. But I think there are two serious problems going on. One of them is a lot of more kids than ever are coming from really bad family situations, and so they're just dealing with a lot of stress at school. They're coming from broken families, and that's just not, and the mental health problems that go with a really bad family situation, that's just not conducive to learning. And the second, and I think this is actually probably the big one, their brains are literally broken by iPhones. Like, they cannot concentrate anymore. They are so used to the dopamine rushes from scrolling on their iPhones and playing highly addictive video games, and also sugar. And there are studies on all this. You cannot win their attention for more than a few seconds in class because they are just not used to having to concentrate on things they're not interested in. So I think actually technology has a lot to do with this, and also just the state of the family. Two parents working these days, so you don't have someone with the time to help the kids at home. A lot of parents are just indifferent, they don't care, and then you've got the problem of broken families. I actually don't think it's something that's primarily going to be fixed from within the school. Although you do have Burblesing in England. What's her name? Catherine Burblesing, who runs a grammar school there. And she's had massive success by banning iPhones. They're just banned. And that's been really positive. But then the problem is the damage that they do to your brain when you're out of school. So I actually think a lot of this is literally kids are damaging their brains.
Good point. Good point. I think paper and pen is probably a lot better.
and as Jonathan Haidt says in his latest book, whose title I've forgotten, but it's on the impact of technology and iPhones and social media on kids, basically no iPhones before the age of 16. And you'd want to say 18, but hey, that could be a losing battle. But they are rewiring our brains, the iPhone.
It's interesting you say that too. You speak to any chiro, and they'll tell you they have kids coming in the door. And I saw photographs of this. There was actually like information posters on the wall showing vertebrae in a neck that had actually gone into a bending fashion. I said, what's this? This is an old person. No, that's a young person under the age of 18. I go, what's it from? Looking down at iPads, looking down at their phones. And because they're developing as they're doing this, their actual structure of their neck, the vertebrae, changes into a bad posture permanently because they're always looking down at their phone. And then it becomes something that the chiro has to deal with, this new condition from the modern technology.
Happy days.
Yep.
Anyways, was it The Righteous Mind or The Anxious Generation?
The Anxious Generation.
Right,
That's
right,
the
from
one.
Jonathan Haidt. I've got another book here which I've mentioned before. There's a Coddling of the American Mind.
Great book.
Yeah, really, really good book.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, did you have any final questions, stories that you wanted to bring up before we finish up the show?
Can I say I loved you answering a viewer's question. I would love to see more of that.
A viewer's question on here?
Yeah, I'd love to see more sort of interaction with the viewers. I really enjoyed that actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was a great question.
Yeah, it was a great
one,
question.
yeah,
Yeah, the guy that asked the question is a little bit of an idiot, but that's okay. No, I'm joking. It was Rami. Rami sent it in, but no. Look, I want to get everyone onto Rumble so that we can actually do that. I want to get the questions from one place so that it's streamlined, and that way, if you guys want to access us or ask questions live on the show, I love that. And I think that's my point about democracy, online social media. We need more people directly asking questions, getting answers, sharing information, so we make less mistakes. But guys, I have thoroughly enjoyed having you out here. We're a little over 2 hours right now with the podcast, but I'm looking forward to having every single one of you back again, and covering more things. There are crazy things happening next week. We've got the Democrat National Convention. It's been astonishing seeing how all the Democrats in lockstep have basically got their marching orders. Kamala's our chick. We're going to stack it. We're not even going to do a primary like we did with Bernie Sanders and Hillary in previous elections. And they are pretty much moving forward with her. The censorship's kicked up, as we've seen. Everything going on with misinformation and disinformation in Australia has picked up. The UK are trying to censor the American internet. It's insane. It's insane, and I'm here to help you meander through it. That's why I built the ARC podcast so we can do it. So if you enjoy it, give it a share, give it a like. If you want to find any one of these phenomenal people, you can click the link in my in my bio or in the description of this video, and you can actually see all the people that we have on the show. If you want to donate to help keep the lights on and fund the camera guys we have here, you can scan the QR code there. As much as $5 a month, guys, it makes a huge difference. I'm heavily reliant on you guys, and very soon I will be coming out with material for the election so that you guys know who to vote for, even though we've got some bad choices. Who are the worst bad choices? And yeah, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show. It's been phenomenal, and I think we're giving the mainstream media a real run for their money. 900,000 views a week is nuts. I was stoked when I did it a couple of days ago.
Kudos to you, Job.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you, Joe.
And this is the most
thank you,
impressive
guys.
studio I've ever seen. This is this is truly the ARC.
Yeah. Now, look, again, I'm at your disposal, guys. I'm just here to get your information that maybe we can't get you onto the mainstream media. I just want to get that to everyone. I mean, your information on loan options, Ben's information on hacking, Natalie's information on the medical industry and what's going on with the grassroots, and Stephen's information on education industry and how we can reform it. There's so many competent people out there. I just enjoy giving you guys the mic. I obviously don't know everything, but I feel like together we can actually get Australia on a better track, and that's why I do it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. God bless you all. I'll see you soon, and please give this a share. Take it easy. Bye-bye.